welcome everybody to our March Ladies Social Hour. My name is Jennifer Morgan. I am the Hunter Education Coordinator with the Department of Game and Fish based out of the Albuquerque office. And I would just like to say, first of all, thank you to Gina, Kayleen, Karen, for wanting to be our guests this evening's for this evening's session. They do a fantastic job over at the archery shop. And I am just forever grateful that they want to help lead the conversation today about archery and bow hunting. There's tons of years of experience with these ladies, and they're always just so willing to help as well. So I think that that's super awesome. And so I'm very grateful that they're here with us this evening. So I'll pass it off to the rest of our staff that are on board with us as well, so they can do some introductions. So I will pass it over to Stephanie.
Hey, everybody. I like how you said that you're about to say the awesome office, I think. And I really appreciate that because, kind of is the awesome office. Anyways, I am Stephanie. I'm the Assistant Hunter Education Coordinator out of the Albuquerque awesome office as well. So I'm super glad to be here tonight. I'm excited to get some pointers because I could, as a lefty, there's not many people that could help me out.
Thanks,
Good
Steph.
evening, everyone. My name is Colleen Payne. I'm the Public Information Specialist out of the awesome Las Cruces office. I will fight you over that one, but excited to have everyone here tonight and to learn some new bow hunting tips and tricks from these ladies. I've been bow hunting for probably 15 years now, so excited to learn something new tonight from everyone presenting.
Hey, Tristiana.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Tristiana Bigford. I am the Assistant Chief of Education, also based out of Albuquerque, and we'll agree that both offices are awesome. And I apologize if my internet is a little sketchy tonight. I'm at a conference in West Virginia, and we're kind of in the middle of nowhere-ish. So if I go in and out, I apologize, but I'm excited to listen and learn tonight. I am not an archer like the other ladies that are on tonight, and so I'm looking to get some pointers, and hopefully I can get started someday.
Great, thanks. I will now allow the ladies from the archery shop to introduce themselves.
Go ahead, Kaylee.
Go ahead, Gina.
Oh, hi there. I'm Gina Chavez from the archery shop. I have a passion for archery, everything archery. I just love it. I've been an archer for 32 years now. Been hunting all that time as well. My husband and I do a lot of hunting, and I've been pretty successful. So I think I have some good stuff to share. And the fact that archery is awesome. Somebody use the awesome word.
that's the word. That's the word of the
word
night.
tonight.
Thanks so much, Gina. Okay, Keely.
Hi, my name is Kayleen. I am a bow hunter here in New Mexico. I have been working with Gina at the archery shop, and I met a lot of the names I'm actually recognizing from the Outdoor Expo. We had the Women in Archery booth there, and we were able to connect and meet with a lot of women there. And I'm excited. We have our class coming up on Friday, which we're going to talk about throughout tonight. But so many women have just been interested in archery, and Gina and I are working together to help get more women here in New Mexico involved. So that's what we're here to talk about.
Thanks, Kayleen. Okay, Karen.
Yeah, hi, I'm Karen Bacamoya. I'm with the archery shop as well. I've been there for 25 years, helping Gina. I mainly work in the JOAD, recruiting the kids and things like that for JOAD with USA Archery. But I am also a hunter, and I eat, sleep archery all the time. I mainly am a target archer. But I also do a lot of private lessons and things like that with hunters, JOAD kids, anybody who's interested, women, all ages, all types, so love archery as well. And yes, it's very awesome.
Thanks so much, Karen. And just real quick too, I want to also give a quick second over to Helen, because she is stepping up. Colleen is unfortunately not able to be here on Saturday at High Desert in Las Cruces. but Helen is able to step in. And so she's going to be ramrodding with the women's session down at High Desert Archery down south in Las Cruces with the team down there. And so Helen, I'll let you introduce yourself so the ladies that are coming to that session down south, if they haven't already met you, they know who you are.
I too was recognizing several names from our Women in the Outdoors event. So it's kind of cool to see a lot of these familiar names and faces. And I'm excited. Sorry you can't be there, Colleen. I think it would have been cool even to maybe team up with you if you wanted to do that in the future. I'd totally be down for that. Getting to see these ladies and kind of go over a little bit of bow hunting. I haven't been doing it as long as a whole lot of you guys have, but probably about 11 years now. So I'm excited. We'll go over some archery. I am an ASP instructor too, so getting to get out there and show the ones that have never shot kind of the ropes will be kind of cool too. I'm excited. I'm gonna have donuts.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me to help you guys out.
Yeah, thank you for stepping up. All right, so we are going to now turn it over to our guests from the guest ladies from the archery shop. Kayleen, you were wanting me to kind of lead off the conversation with the awesome video. See, awesome that you put together for us to show, and I think it's a great resource just overall anyway that you put that together because you're hitting on some very key points. Even when I first started. What I kind of had the same feelings that women have right now, or anybody that's kind of new to any sport, is you're kind of intimidated when you walk into a shop and you just feel like, oh my gosh, everybody's staring at me because I don't know what I'm doing. And am I even in the right place? Do I even want to do this? So we've all, ladies, I just want to say that we've all been at your stage at some point, whether it's 30 years ago or maybe 2 weeks ago. We have all been where you are. And so, except for maybe Gina. I don't think I will ever achieve Gina's archery status ever. So she is quite the mentor. But anyway, did you want to kind of get a segue into this video while I get it kind of fired up?
Yeah. So it's at the Outdoor Expo, I met with a lot of women, and a lot of them said that they were very interested in archery, but they were very intimidated. They didn't know where to begin. They didn't know where to start. They felt intimidated coming into an archery shop to see where to even begin. They had no idea. So this video is just kind of going over that, and just as Jennifer said, we've all been there. We've all been the new person, and know when you walk in, there could be somebody else that's brand new there shooting as well. You may not be the only brand new person there, because people come into the archery shop of beginners to pros that are in there. So just know that when you walk in, we've all been there, and they have a great staff that's able to help you. They do a very good job of making it comfortable for everybody. So that's what the video is kind of about. So watch that, and I'm sure there'll be more questions too after that.
Okay, perfect.
My name is Kayleen. I am a bow hunter here in New Mexico, and I am here at the archery shop in Albuquerque, New Mexico, to show you what to expect when you come into an archery shop when you're a brand new beginner. You're interested in bow hunting, you're interested in archery, but you have no idea where to start or what to expect when you walk into the store. Sometimes it can be intimidating for some people, so I'm here to break that down and show you start to finish the process of coming into an archery shop. Let's go. So when you walk into the archery shop, you're going to be greeted by the friendly staff here. And let's take a tour. Here they have bow hunting style bows, recurve bows, and competition bows. Lots of styles of targets, 3D targets, block style targets, a variety of style of arrows, accessories like the quiver for your bow if you're going to be bow hunting, plenty of cases to choose from, releases, lots of selections based off what you need, and the sights for your bow, and an indoor range that we'll be using to get our bow set up and for practice. Let's talk about bow shop etiquette. One thing that you never want to do when you come into a bow shop is to pull any of the bows back. Don't draw the bow back. This can cause damage, dry firing the bow, and essentially ruining the bow completely. So you don't want to draw the bow back unless you have assistance from the staff. The staff is very happy to help you. They may be busy at times, and especially during the busy season right before archery season, it can be a little bit longer of a wait. So just be patient, talk with them. They're happy to help you. Okay, so you are ready to start shooting. Know that you can try out different types of bows to see what's going to fit best for you, and you should. You can shoot a couple of different bows to see what's going to feel best in your hands. What's right for me may not be right for you. Today, I'm going to get set up with a bow hunting bow. So first, we're going to start with measuring my draw lengths. All right, it's set up for me to shoot. I'm going to be shooting the Diamond Infinite 305. This is a bow that comes set up as a bow package. So it comes with the quiver, it comes with a stabilizer, it comes with the sight, and kind of everything that you need to get started as a bow hunter. This is $419 here, and that comes with the package, so it's an affordable price. Know that there are lots of different bows and different budgets, depending on what you're going to be wanting to do with a bow. They start at about $350 and can go up to $2,000 depending on what you're looking at doing with this bow. So know your budget before you come into the archery shop. So that way they have an idea of what you're looking for and what you're looking at doing with the bow. So let's shoot it. I'm ready to shoot. So I'm going to need a release. There are different types of releases that you use with the D-loop on the bow. He installed the D-loop so I can shoot it today. And I need a release. I'm going to be using the True Ball Shooter release, which is a wrist strap. There is some releases, lots of different releases depending on what you want. So talk to the staff when you're here to determine what type of release you need. All right, you're set up with your bow, you're ready to go. The staff's going to go over some safety range rules with you and the steps on how to shoot a bow. You may not know what you're doing, so the staff's definitely going to help you out, show you what to do, and then you'll be ready to shoot. Right now, when we're just trying out the bow, do not worry about where you're shooting. Don't worry about where you're hitting the target. That all comes later. Right now, we're just worried about getting the arrow down there to see how it feels. One rule that you always want to follow is never draw the bow back without an arrow on it. This will help you get in the habit of it so you do not ever dry fire your bow. Never pull it back without an arrow. You tried out a couple of different bows, you found the one that you love, and you buying it, you're ready to go. You're going to go home, you're going to shoot. The definite thing that you need to know is practice is key. Archery form, it's something that you learn over time. It's something that takes time and it requires a lot of practice. So send those arrows, enjoy every minute of it, and don't forget to have fun. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more archery videos to come. My name is Kayleen. I am a bow hunter.
Thanks, Kayleen, so much. That is a really great, quick intro for what anybody would need to know coming in, whether you're a beginner or maybe you've got a little bit of shooting time under your belt. So I'll let you guys build on that. So Gina, you were talking about some specific equipment and needs that a new archer, or maybe we have a more seasoned archer that might not have the right equipment. So how can you help us out with that a little bit?
Well, first I want to start that archery, you'll be glad that you started. No matter what kind of archery you decided you started, you will fall in love with it. It's a life sport. It's something that just, you can't get enough of it. Like Karen and I said, we are everything archery, whether it's with the kids or the women. It's good for exercise. It's good for socialize, strengthening yourself, upper body, lower body, core, and regardless of age, anybody could do it. That's the nice thing about it. As for equipment, you know, it all depends on what you want to do with it. I mean, in my classes, I go over all the different types of equipment, you know, the compound, the recurve, the longbow, what they're used for, what you can do it, more or less what they run. And my question always is, what do you want to, what brought you to archery? Do you want to do for recreation, for fun? Do you want to hunt? Do you want to shoot 3Ds? Are you interested in target archery? Are you interested in the Olympic style archery? What is it you're interested in? And then we'll show them the equipment for that purpose. You will find you'll end up with 2 or 3 bows after a while. It's just a guarantee. That's just how it goes. You want to do everything, it seems like. When I first started 32 years ago, I couldn't get enough. I shot down my hallway at nighttime. We owned a meat market at that time. So Mark and I would go out into the alley and shoot in the alley, on the back of the alley, down the hallway of the meat market. We would, when I finally got into hunting, bow hunting and stuff, we would shoot, this sounds a little bit weird, but we would check broadheads on the hanging carcass beef to see the penetration on the broadheads in our walk-in cooler. So that's how extreme we are about it. So if you have a chance, you know, join one of my classes. I think you'll get a lot out of it. I feel like half the time that I need 10 hours in the day, because I get so excited when I teach that I want you to know everything that's in my brain. I want you to know target archery. I want you to know 3D archery and how to score it and how you play that game. I want you to do the NFAA, the NAA face, the different colored faces, and then shoot some balloons and, you know, all different kinds of stuff. So whatever you're interested in, come see me. We could talk about it. We could talk about equipment, and I can steer you in the right direction. And did I answer your question, or did I go crazy with my archery stuff?
No, you're awesome. So let's start from maybe, I know Kayleen had covered some of this. We're talking about the draw length and the draw weight. So could you build on that a little bit on maybe looking at the types of arrows that you're matching with the bows, and then of course, it sounds like from some of the information I've received from most of our ladies is that they are, they've got a compound bow. Now, I'm going to put up a few questions here in a minute to maybe gauge what type of equipment most of our ladies that are in session today have. And then maybe we can start catering a little bit more to the conversation based on the equipment that they've purchased already or they're looking at purchasing. But maybe let's just start out with your basic compound bow setup, kind of like what Kayleen had in the video, and build on that just a little bit.
Okay, in all honesty, Kayleen probably knows more about the equipment that's out there than me, because I don't really go in very much anymore. I do the lessons and the parties and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of behind the scenes these days. But as for draw length and draw weight, that's very important, you know, especially if you're going to go hunting, especially. Okay. Draw length, we have to measure you from wing, you know, we call it the wingtip, which is fingertip to fingertip. And then we have a formula that we use to check your draw length. You have to realize if you do get fitted to a compound bow, after a month or so, or a few weeks of shooting, your draw length is going to change by an inch or so, because you're going to stretch out. Okay. So we bring you in, you might have a 27-inch draw length, and we'll set it to 27. But again, in a few days or a few weeks or so, you might have to come in and get it readjusted to get that draw length. So you don't want it too long or too short. It has to come to the corner of your mouth and the tip of your nose on a compound bow. As for draw weight, you definitely want to start where you can pull back the bow straight, holding the bow vertical, and pull back straight without having to sky draw or floor draw or side draw or whatever. And then don't be in such a hurry to get up in weight. You know, take your time, enjoy it, because if you have too much weight on the bow, you're not going to enjoy it. It's not fun. It's not fun sighting in. You want to be comfortable and be able to, you know, just be comfortable with the bow, and you can easily go up in weight. If you decide you want to go into elk hunting or any kind of hunting, I definitely recommend 40 to 45 pounds at the minimum. And then of course your target has to be at a close distance for that weight to be able to harvest that animal and, you know, be fair chase for that animal. Okay. As for the equipment, Kayleen probably knows, or Karen probably knows more about equipment that's out there right now that we have. I know different equipment, but I'm not sure what's available right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Either you two ladies. Thank you.
I could talk about a little bit about that and then kind of build on what she was just saying too. So with the draw weight. When I first started, I was at a way lower draw weight. So you start way lower and don't be intimidated by that. It's okay, because you want to actually start at a lower weight and build on that, because you need to build proper form in archery as well. And proper form would be creating an anchor point. As Gina said, that the string needs to go to the corner of your mouth. There's certain places on your body for your anchor point that you're going to need to have. You want to be the best archer that you can in the long run. And that goes from bow hunting to target practicing as well. For me personally, I actually started out as a rifle hunter, and then I got interested into bow hunting. And with bow hunting, there's lots of different animals that you can harvest, and your equipment that you're going to have is based off of that as well. So if you are going to just be out there and you're looking at turkey hunting, or you're looking at javelina hunting, then you're going to have that lower poundage of weight that's required. But as Gina was saying, if you want to get into elk hunting, that's where you're going to have a higher poundage, but you need to start lower, and that's okay. And don't be intimidated by that. You'll have, I'm going to say this as men, because men really love to brag about their draw weight. They're like, oh, I draw 80 pounds. Well, good for you, buddy. But it doesn't really matter, because you need to start lower. When you start with that lower draw weight, you build on it, you build your proper form, and all of that does take time. It's not going to be something that happens immediately, and don't be intimidated by the fact that it's something that you're going to be working over time on. So as you build that draw weight, then you could slowly increase it over time without sacrificing your form. For the different equipment that's out there, there's lots of different brands of bows. There's beginner bows, and then there's more advanced bows. There's different setups on the bows as well. There's different types of releases. There's different ways to hunt. I personally hunt with my quiver on my bow, so therefore I practice with my quiver on my bow, because I don't do a lot of the competition or the target archery. I primarily do all of my practicing for my bow hunting, so that when I'm out in the field, I practice all year long. And I do that so that way when I'm out there, I can have an ethical shot, knowing that I've put in the work and I've put in the practice, so that I'm ready to go when the bow hunting season comes. There's different, based off of what you want to be hunting, that's how your setup is going to be. The equipment, there's beginner to advanced. So it really just depends on your budgeting, and know that in time you may outgrow a bow. I started with one bow, and it was great for me as a beginner. And then my skills became to the point that I outgrew the bow, and I actually needed to upgrade to a higher end bow. But you don't even necessarily need to do that. There's some women that stay with the beginner type of bows. They hunt with it. That's what they're comfortable with. It really depends on how far you want to grow in your archery and in bow hunting.
And real quick, I did put a poll together. So everybody, I'm going to launch a poll. It's going to be a couple questions. They're multiple choice. So if you're interested, the first question is going to be, what type of archery equipment are you interested in? And if you want to be interested in all of it, then you can select all of it, or if it's maybe just one style. So I'll leave this up so you ladies have a chance to answer the poll real quick. And then maybe we can base our conversations a little bit more on what y'all are choosing. But most people are wanting compound, but we've got some folks interested in shooting recurve and longbow. Still getting stuff coming in.
While those come in, I have to say, I was so glad to see Gabe on the video, because Gina, if you're not in there, Gabe is a fantastic human being. He got me set up, and he is the most patient, knowledgeable guy I think I've ever met in my whole entire life. So I was really glad to see him on there, because when I go in there, I want to see Gabe, because he just breaks up my day, man.
You and
I
everybody
agree.
else in Albuquerque.
Yep.
He's awesome.
He is definitely awesome for sure. He's very helpful.
I don't know if you know, but Gabe's been with me 20 years, and I made him a partner this year.
Oh, congrats to him.
Oh, I'll have to tell him congratulations. That's incredible.
Him and Annette, you know, the redhead that always
Yes,
looks
and that
artsy.
is fantastic.
I love Annette, but she's also a partner now. So we bought out Noble, and now we're all three partners.
Oh, fantastic. That's excellent.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's
Congrats
pretty
to you all.
exciting. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to end the poll, and I'm going to share the results. So it kind of looks like 158 people.
Compound. Wow.
are all compound. We've got some folks that are interested in recurve and some longbows, so that's great. I've got one more poll that I'd like to also post as well, just to keep the conversation going, because then Karen, maybe if we got some more folks that are just strictly wanting to do it as just target archery, then let's definitely get you in there. And I definitely want you to interject how people, because that's kind of how I got involved way
Yeah,
back in the
great.
day.
Yeah,
And
you know,
we
we-
do have about that question that you just posted. We do have somebody that, I mean, doesn't know the difference between the three of those kind of bows that you posted. So I don't know if we want to have a little discussion about
Yeah,
the difference.
absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, so first you have the longbow, which it's basically a stick with a string, very traditional. Usually when you shoot a longbow, you want the challenge, and you usually want to stay very traditional with the wood arrows, the feathers, the back quiver, that kind of stuff. By far the hardest bow to shoot. Second, we have the recurve bow, which you can shoot Olympic style, or you can shoot traditional style as well. A recurve comes into either a one piece like the longbow or a three-piece takedown, which means it comes in three pieces. You could take it down and pretty much carry it like in a case, in a case. So the recurve bow is the only bow that's recognized in the Olympics. Okay, so if you want to be Olympian, you have to shoot a recurve bow. We've been hoping for the last 20 years that compound will get in there, but that's never going to happen. So recurve is your Olympic bow, slightly easier to shoot than a longbow because of the curve in the limbs, but still you're basically a stick with the string. Although when you have a recurve bow, when you shoot Olympic style, your anchor point is different and you have different stuff on the recurve bow for Olympic style. When you shoot a traditional style, it's pretty basic, no sights with the fingers and just wood arrows or carbon arrows, but it's a little bit easier to shoot because of the recurve in the limbs. The two bows, the recurve and the longbow, depending on the weight of the bow, and then you have a length of the bow and then you have the weight. Say the bow is 38 pounds. A longbows and recurve, when you pull back that 38 pounds, you're pulling and holding the 38 pounds through the whole shot. And that's all based on a 28-inch draw length. So if you have a 29-inch draw length, you could hurt the bow, but you're also pulling more weight. But if you're under a 28-inch draw length, then you're not pulling the max weight of the 38 pounds of a bow. But whatever it is, you're pulling and holding all the weight all the time through a longbow and a recurve. As opposed to a compound has the wheels and the pulleys and all the gadgets on it. When you pull the compound bow, they're now set like 80% let off. So if the bow's 60 pounds with the 80% let off, when you get to full draw, you're only holding a portion of that weight. So it's a lot easier to hold. And that's why it's ideal for all the bow hunters, because you can sit there and hold back for quite a long time waiting for the perfect shot on your target. I've had to pull back and hold, and then actually let down and pull back again sometimes. But if there's a recurve or a longbow, there's no way I could have held it as long as I did with the compound bow. So compound bow, everybody likes it because it's fast, it's easier to shoot, it's fun to shoot. Depending on what you're going to do with it for hunting again or for target archery. I'm pretty much the hunter in the family of the archery shop. Karen is the target archer in the family of the archery shop. So she shoots paper and she's really good at it. And so she knows a lot about the target archery. So she has the target archery releases and all that stuff. Anything hunting, it's me. So if you want to get into hunting, of course, we can get into what you need to do to go hunting, which is on how to practice and stuff. And of course, that's all going to be in the 3D shooting.
So I just got the results from our second poll, which I was asking everybody, what are your archery goals? And it looks like for the bulk of the people on our call today is hunting is number one. 3D is right there with recreational, and then paper target archery. And I think, again, based on some of the comments in the chat, lots of our participants today are brand new. So I think this would be a good opportunity for you guys to talk about how to kind of get involved in some of these different aspects of shooting a bow and what they kind of entail. So I'll just turn it away to one of you ladies to kind of cover that.
Karen, you want to go over target archery, paper target?
Yeah, definitely. So paper target is shooting paper, of course. You can shoot at any distance. Mainly ours is 20 yards and 18 meters. So if you've been to the shop or anything like that, you know that there's a distance, that you shoot at for paper target. Now, thing too is that not only is target archery most accurate when you're shooting a target with the scope and you have all the bells and whistles and everything like that. But it also makes you a better hunter because you have this target that you have to aim at the middle of. And so, not only does that make you a really accurate archer, but also teaches you form, because the form is the most important thing when you're shooting target archery. 90% mental is target archery. So also it's a mental game. So we go over a lot of that as well. So target is and also FIDA. So we have FIDA, target archery, and we do a lot of 3Ds outdoors as well. But mainly it's more shooting at paper than it is shooting at different animals and things like that. So, and we have releases, and of course, we have Olympic style archers, and we also have traditional archers. So there's a variety as well that shoot paper target or competition.
So you don't have to be stuck in one particular type
Mm-mm.
of bow to
No.
be able to shoot paper, whether it's obviously recreationally or wanting to become competitively. You have different classes, I should say, that they
Yes.
can register in based on their equipment. And then I would imagine that there's different levels. So obviously our beginners and novice aren't going to be put in there with the pros.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Well, it's a variety. It just depends, age group, whatever you fall into, depending on your age, most of it, yeah, you're going to be put up with some other, more competitive archers. But, that's how you learn, don't ever be intimidated by that, because there's all shapes, sizes, ages, that are shooting, and everybody is shooting at the same target. So, it's just a matter of just getting used to just shooting in competition. So yes, nerves and mental part of it is a big thing as well, so just practicing and getting used to that, because when you're out hunting, you still get nervous and you have that adrenaline rush. And it's the same thing when you're indoors, you have competition, it's adrenaline, that keeps you going. And so, just it's a lot of fun. And, once you get hooked, you're just going to be hooked forever,
I agree. I remember my very first memory of shooting just one of those red long bows at Girl Scout camp, and you have who knows what equipment that you're shooting at the target downrange, and you only got to maybe get an hour of it for your whole week. And that is what got my interest into archery. And then, I took it on from there, and it is a very addicting. I can tell you that right now. And so the thing that I enjoyed the most before I actually started bow hunting was I started with, just shooting paper. And then I went into the 3D archery. So Kayleen, I think that's a lot around your bag. So I'll let you kind of talk more about how you can segue into that, or just literally start with that.
Yeah. So first of all, people may not know what 3D archery is. So 3D archery is basically an animal that is set up. It's generally like a foam type that it's set up at the range. It's set up, you could do it in your backyard. You can have your own 3D deer. It looks like a real life kind of deer that you put into your backyard, or you're at the range shooting. And then you're learning the shot placement of the animal, which is really great with 3D, and one of the great aspects of learning from it to become a better bow hunter, because you're learning on that animal, on the 3D version of the animal that you're shooting on, where your shot placement is and how important that shot placement can be for the animal. For a turkey, for instance, when you're bow hunting a turkey, the distance that you have and where you actually need to hit on that turkey is a very small area for a bow. When you're using a shotgun and you're turkey hunting, you can kind of hit a little bit bigger area, but with a bow, it's pretty amazing that when you shoot a bow, oh, look what I have for you. Hold on. This is a 3D turkey target. My husband just went in the backyard and grabbed it because he heard me talking about it. So for a placement on a turkey, 3D, it's pretty small little area here that you're actually shooting to get the ethical harvest of the animal. When you're shooting up here, you're really actually just going through feathers, and you're just going to make a feathered mess everywhere. So it's important with the 3D targets like this that you learn that shot placement and where you can actually shoot on them. It's a lot of fun, and it really challenges you, because it's one thing shooting at a paper, which is a lot of fun. I practice on paper, I practice on 3D. I practice every which way I possibly can practice to make myself a better hunter. But the 3D, it's a lot of fun, and it's all about the placement.
I have something to touch on that. Karen mentioned that target archery, we're to go back to that. And I saw somebody chime in that they thought this is a little bit too advanced. I want to kind of clear that up a little bit. Target archery is indoor archery, and it's 20 yards. So if you want to get into any style of archery, that's where you want to start, indoor. We offer leagues that you could come in and join a league on Wednesday night or Thursday night and shoot with different people and learn from them. It's really easy and it's a lot of fun, and it gets you shooting. So that's basically where you want to start, indoor target archery. If you're a very competitive person like some of us are, that's when it gets when you get up there and where it gets a little bit stressful, and that's when the mental part gets into play. But you don't have to ever get to that point if you don't want to. If you can master target archery indoor, definitely make you a better outdoor bow hunter or any kind of hunter, because you do learn the steps, you take your time, you practice on your breathing, and it's a great way to get you ready for outdoor. As for hunting itself, the 3D archery, the way I started, my husband took me to a 3D tournament years ago, and I walked around with him, and I'm like, this is boring. They say that watching people shoot archery is like watching paint dry, and it's kind of like that to me. So I told him that was the one and only time I was going to walk around and watch him do a 3D shoot. So we went and bought me a bow, and that's how I got started. So with the hunting part of it, the 3D archery with the animal targets, and it's just a foam target. Some people don't want to shoot it because it's an animal target. It's a foam target. So you don't have to necessarily become a bow hunter. But if you want to get into 3D archery, which is 3D tournaments for fun, again, what it teaches you is shot placement for hunting. But the biggest thing is it teaches you how to judge yardage. Most of these 3D shoots are unknown distance. So it teaches you to judge yardage if you decide you want to hunt. And that way you can, the spur of the moment, figure out what the yardage is to make that shot. So if we're going too fast, let me know, and I can go back to the basics of archery where we want to get started on those new people. So
yeah, we have a couple individuals in the chat that feel that this is, like you said, pretty advanced. And so I want to make sure we're including everybody. And I know we are. So for some of you who are extremely, like, literally beginners, and you haven't maybe even touched a bow, in the chat, please give us some ideas of maybe where you're coming from, so we can also address some of the questions you have as literally a brand new person, and what information you were wanting to take out of this session for folks like that. And then, so I'll give a little bit of time for some of you ladies who have expressed some of that. Pauline, Pauline, I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself and ask specific questions to these wonderful ladies based on maybe your skill level and where you're coming from.
I have no skill level, and I'm just going by the description of the event. I thought it was going to start with basics, and then we jumped in like head first into, it was like going to the store and all this stuff, and
So that is definitely
I
the
have
best
no
place
questions right now because I don't have the basic information. You kind of sort of drowned me before I had a chance to take any laps.
with that being said, Pauline, I think a lesson or come into the shop and just talking to us would be your best start. We can definitely go through the basics, and the basics that I teach are introducing, making you informative of a different style of archery. That's the biggest thing, because you need to decide what style of archery you're looking at and what you want to do with it. Like I said, is this going to be recreational, something that you're going to do in the backyard just for fun? Archery is such a cool sport because, well, you would not believe the amount of people that come into the archery shop on their lunch hour just to relieve stress. It's a form of meditation for sure. It's a form of meditation, and and it helps for your body, for strengthening your upper body, lower body. So I think if we just start with the basics with you, come in, either do a private lesson or do the women's class, or stop in and just say, ask some questions, or call me, I'll talk to you, or Karen. Karen does a lot of private lessons, one-on-one and at your pace. And I think that would benefit you.
Yes, definitely. As an instructor, we start off really simple. We go through the steps. We say, okay, here we're going to practice on a Genesis bow. We'll go through the whole step process. We have 11 steps. We have all the way from stance, knock the arrow, hook the grip, set up. We have this whole thing that we go through, and we'll go step by step all the way to the end until you fire that first arrow, hitting the target. And, it's pretty basic. It's simple. Anybody can do it. Everybody that comes in, if you're not sports inclined, like playing football, basketball, you don't have to be. This is pretty simple, muscle memory. It's just doing the same thing every time. We go through, we'll use a Genesis bow, crank it down all the way to the lowest poundage. And then we just start that first process and go through the whole thing. And then after that, then if you want to, okay, let's try a recurve. Let's try something else to see if, what else you might be interested in. So I go through a whole step process. It's pretty basic. And, I guarantee you'll leave there that, oh, wow, that was really a lot of fun. So as basic as we can get, that's definitely what we do.
And Karen is actually excellent too. I remember being so nervous to get out on the range after I got my bow set up and just making an absolute clown of myself, which is weird because I'm a clown anyways. But I was so nervous to get out there and actually start shooting and what was going to happen when I started shooting. And Annette was like, go shoot with Karen. She's fantastic. And I go to this strange lady who I've never met before. And she's like, come on, let's shoot. And so we started shooting, and she just made it extremely comfortable. So if you're around Albuquerque, I'd absolutely talk to Karen because she just makes the whole experience very comfortable.
Yes, absolutely. Any of these ladies at the archery shop are phenomenal. And just to segue a little bit into it, I think some of you have already registered for this Friday evening session. And Pauline, I don't know if you had a chance to register for any of our in-person sessions yet. I know that Gina's got a session on March 31st available and spots on April 21st. So anybody that was unable to get registered for this Friday, March 17th session, and you're in the Albuquerque metro area, reach out to Gina to get registered for one of her other two opportunities she has made herself available to get you guys in. And then one of us from the Game and Fish plan on being in all of these sessions as we can to also help out. And what's nice is that High Desert Archery down in Las Cruces has a session this Saturday as well, March 18th from 10 to noon. And Helen is ramrodding that with the folks down there. And so registration, I believe, closes tomorrow for the High Desert sessions. So if you would like for me to provide that registry, oh, shoot, my computer's all messed up, but I can figure out how to get that registration link available to those of you who are down south that would like to go shoot this Saturday morning with Helen. And again, the best way, I mean, we're just trying to give a lot of segues of what options are available, whether it's equipment or how you can shoot or what's available and what your goals are going into it. And maybe you don't know what your goal is, and that's cool. That is okay. Go and try stuff. And then you can say, okay, I really just like to shoot this bow because it relieves my stress and it's really fun and I don't have a lot of pressure. And that's awesome. If that's what you're wanting to do right now, then go with it. So come to these in-person sessions and try it out. And you know, if it might feel weird to you at first, but because everything kind of does when you first start. So get in there, get immersed with it, especially with folks that are, I mean, all of us, like I said, have been at one level or another. We all started at the beginning. We have all started, Pauline, right where you are right now. And so don't let that intimidate you at all. Because once you get into something that you really enjoy, you can be like Gina one day and you're going to now be teaching other people how to do it. And that's what we all love to do is giving back all the knowledge that we have gained from other people. Gina has given me amazing pointers on how to improve my form. And I definitely need some retuning for sure. So yeah, I also have one more poll that I would like to share with you guys too. It basically, if it'll let me, I'll let you guys continue the conversation and I'll pull up this next poll.
One thing about the sport of archery, the sportsmanship behind it, everybody is so willing and wants you to do your best, and they're willing, sometimes a little too much. Everybody has an idea or has something to say, but they mean well. So if you go into anywhere, any outdoor archery range or indoor archery range, there's always somebody, if they see you struggling or if you have a question, the person next to you on the line is more than willing to help all the time. So that's another thing. That's another really great thing about archery.
So I guess so we can get a better idea of what the skill levels we have currently in session. I put another poll up. Basically just kind of put yourself in one of these categories, whether you're clean slate or you're at Gina, Kayleen's and Karen's level, which, and sorry, Kayleen, I misspelled your name. I was in a hurry, but I think a lot of who we've got on board with us.
Maybe can we, while those come in, can we talk just briefly about dominant eye? Because maybe some people don't actually know what their dominant eye is.
Sure. Would you like me to talk about that?
Yeah, please.
So in my classes, we definitely, that's one of the things we do, immediately check eye dominance. Very important that you shoot that way with whatever right eye or left eye dominance that you are. Now in my old age, I was always right eye dominant, and I just the last couple of years kind of left eye dominant now. So I have to close my left eye to get on target to shoot right-handed with my right eye, because after all these years of shooting, there's no way I'm gonna be able to train myself or have the strength to pull back a bow with my left hand. So whatever your eye dominance is, especially in the beginning, if you've never shot, we're going to definitely work towards that. If we find that you're left eye dominant, we're going to encourage you to give it a really good try to shoot left-handed if you're left eye dominant. If you can't, again, you're going to have to close your left eye and aim with the right, and then both open both eyes to actually aim and shoot towards the shot. So that's what I do. You want to shoot with both eyes open, but again, if you're left eye dominant, you want to shoot left-handed. Right eye dominant, you want to shoot right-handed.
Okay, looks like we got most people who have responded to our poll. Sorry if it's not popping up for some of you guys. I don't know if it's maybe in your settings, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm gonna end poll and go ahead and share results so everybody can kind of see. Most of us are kind of in the beginner stage where you might have had maybe at least picked up a bow and shot it once, maybe. So it looks like beginner to clean slate is the bulk of our folks.
Okay.
Hey,
And
Stephanie, maybe you can help walk them real quick through the eye dominance kind of activity that we usually do in hunter's ed classes. That might help kind of give everybody an activity to do from their wonderful chairs at home.
Yeah, so I think putting up like a piece of paper on the wall or something, and then drawing a dot. This is the closest thing to me right now that I have for an example, but drawing a dot and hanging it up on the wall. And then if you kind of put like, make a triangle with your fingers like that, and with both eyes open, this is kind of the major key. People tend to want to do this when they try to do this, and you got to do it with both eyes open, and put that dot right in the center of that triangle there, and start to bring it, because I'm going to look at my camera right here, and I'm going to put it in the center of my triangle and bring it back without, doing any judgment whatsoever. And you can see it went straight to my left eye. I didn't pull it that way. I pulled it straight back to what I thought was straight back, and it went to my left eye. And that's how you judge if you're left eye or right eye dominant. It's kind of a little fun activity, because some people come in, they're like, I'm a right-handed person, and turns out they're left eye dominant.
Another easy way that I find to do it, basically almost the same thing, but it's a little bit different. Find something on the wall, put your hands together like you see, make a little triangle, okay? Put your arms stretched out, and then focus on something on the wall. I usually do the target, the X on the target, And then you put that X in the center of that triangle that you can see with both eyes at the same time. Okay, so put the X in the center or whatever you're looking at, both eyes at the same time. Now close your left eye. If it moved, okay, now open your left eye. Now close your right eye. If it stayed, that means your right eye dominant. Whatever eye it stays on, that's your dominant eye.
And Gina, what would you guys recommend? Because we do find, and this is pretty typical, that we'll have a shooter or a person who's wanting to shoot, whether it's archery or, you know, shotgun sports, because that's super important to have your dominant eye. And the right eye dominant, or let's say they're right-handed, but left eye dominant. What do you recommend? Because that's pretty common anymore.
Well, that's what I was saying. So my daughter is right-handed. And when we started training her years ago, we couldn't figure out why she kept shooting to the left of the target. Well, this is before I got all my training. And then through the years, I learned what the heck was going on with her. She was left eye dominant. So we switched her to left hand to use her left eye dominant. And then she was so much happier. It was natural to her. And she was able to get on the target. So like I said about me, I'm right-handed. I was always right eye dominant. But as I got older, now I'm left eye. My left eye wants to take over. But there's no way I can change. I don't have the strength in my left arm to pull that bow back. So I have to close my left eye to get on target and then open my left eye while I'm aiming so I can shoot right-handed. So I still shoot with both eyes open.
So maybe for definitely some of our new ladies that have never really shot a bow before, and obviously your strength is going to be more in your dominant arm. Would you recommend that them starting that way, or would you recommend building up the strength in their opposite arm to shoot that way they're using their more accurate eye?
Yes, if they're whatever eye dominance they are, that's what I recommend to start. Most people that I teach, they're able to do it. You'd be surprised, especially a new archer, they're able to do it. It's an old person who can't teach an old dog new tricks like me. That's the difference.
Or like me, I would have to wear a patch. I would definitely have to wear a patch. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
So yeah, so the new archers will definitely start with their dominant eye. If we have them give a really good try with this, some of them will say this is awkward, this is weird, I can't load the arrow. But after a while, they get used to it, and they're actually very happy that we had to do that.
Awesome, that is a great pointer. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Have we covered most of the stuff that's in our chat as well? I want to make sure that we're not missing anything. I've seen a lot of dialogue going back and forth, so that's awesome. I will also, if for those of you who have the ability and you want to ask personal questions for these ladies, please feel free. You can turn your camera on if you can't. You can use your raise your hand button and you can unmute yourself. And we want to make sure that we're covering this session for everybody, and we're not excluding any skill level or any specific questions that you might have out there that we don't know about. We're also trying to set you up to where if you are able to participate in an in-person session, that we can get you prepped and ready to go for those sessions if you have registered, or maybe if you haven't, get you kind of on the right path so you can come into a local archery shop and start your path down to enjoying archery. So
we do have one question, and maybe Helen can answer this for us. Lady has a right-handed bow, but she wants to know if she can try a left-handed bow on Saturday. Do you know if they'll have left-handed available?
Jennifer and I were discussing that earlier. I know Doug probably has about 10 bows that we can try out, and he'll have some left-handed. There's some Genesis at the beginner level, so there's going to be some. I don't know how many of the like 23 ladies or whatever it is are bringing their own bow or they need bows, but did you say, Jennifer, you're getting that information of how many need a bow? Or
yeah, a few of them that have already pre-registered, I want to say at least 3 to 5 have their own equipment and they want to get more formal instruction on the equipment that they have. And so I'm not too sure in the chat if I'm sorry, I just turned my chat down, but Rachel, I'm not sure if you're from Albuquerque or Cruces, but please bring your equipment. And any of us, at the in-person sessions, we'll be happy to help you get better with your equipment or get you set up with something that would help you become a more proficient shooter for sure. And if Colleen and I were talking too, that if the High Desert doesn't have enough of their own equipment, we have our own Genesis bows that you can come and pick up to help supplement that as well. Okay, so Rachel, yeah, she's coming to Albuquerque. So yeah, Rachel, bring your bow in at that time for sure.
I'm asking any ladies that are joining my class, please bring any equipment you have, and we will look at it and go through it and make sure it fits you, make sure you have everything that's right, and teach you to shoot your bow. For those that don't have any equipment, we have plenty of equipment. We have right-handed, left-handed on everything. You'll be able to shoot a long bow, a recurve, and a compound bow. And we do as well use the Genesis bows.
And I know Doug has a lot of those bows as well. So even if we have to take turns or what have you, we'll make sure everybody gets a chance to try both.
Yes.
Yeah, we have on our Game and Fish equipment too, if we need to supplement there in High Desert, we have right-handed and left-handed bows.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Is there any other questions or comments, especially by Gina and Kayleen and Karen? Anything else that you want to add to the ladies who are out there?
I'll say,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that it can definitely be intimidating. And with archery and bow hunting, you're going to start and you're going to grow and you're going to get frustrated and you're going to love it. And that's all okay to feel all of that. It's okay. I've been shooting. I'm pretty good at shooting, but I still get frustrated. I have good days. I have bad days. I have days that it's just like, dang, I shot really good today. And other days it's like, what in the world just happened to me? And that's normal for everybody at every level. So just the important thing is staying positive and practicing and not giving up. Once you have your bow, don't put it away and forget about it. It's something you can do as a family. Me and my son, we go shoot all the time together, and it's something we do for fun. So just keep at it and keep practicing.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree. You know, don't even feel intimidated. And anymore at the archery shop, there's, you know, men, women, kids, every type of person there now. So, you know, it's not going to be just where it's full of men. And then it's even more intimidating. Now there's a variety of people in there. So just come on in and have fun. Yeah. You know, before I started, you know, I was always afraid that, you know, if it wasn't for Mark and Gina, you know, they started me in archery and been going ever since. And now I shoot in my living room and the kitchen, you know, so I get my practice in, whether it's winter outside, if it's summer outside, it's too cold outside, I get my practice in no matter what. So.
And we have a question, Andrea, I saw you had your hand up. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Oh, you good? Okay, I think you might have answered her question. Thank you.
All right.
I just want to say, if any ladies that are coming to my class and they do have their own equipment, if it's possible to get there 30 minutes early, so we can check out the equipment, because I will have my techs there up until 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, my techs will not be there, so we'll not be making any adjustments to the bows after 6 o'clock. So if you've had your bow sit in the closet for a while and we need to take a look at it, please get there early so we can go over it, or even the day before. Just say, hey, I'm doing the class on Friday. I want you to check to make sure my bow fits me. So you have until Friday, till 6 o'clock to get your bow checked out. But my guys are not going to charge you anything. They're just going to say, look at the bow and have you pull it back, make sure the draw length is still right, make sure the poundage is still comfortable, and make sure the bow is okay to shoot. Make sure that, you know, if the strings are in still good shape, that kind of stuff. So just go early if you have to, or go sometime during the week.
Yeah, so I think we, you know, touched on paper target archery and 3D target archery a little bit. Can we touch a little bit more on the hunting aspect side and what people can expect, and maybe do a poll on what people want to hunt and give some tips, tricks, and pointers on that side as well?
All I can say is hunting is the best thing ever. It's so much fun. Even if you don't harvest anything, getting out there, God, we just have so much fun. We get out there and we we sit on the ridge and just look out at nothing. And that's like the best feeling in the world, just getting out there and hiking, getting some exercise. You know, I love artifact hunting, so I'm always looking for arrowheads. That's my hobby now. My new hobby is artifact hunting, finding pottery and different cool stuff out there. I can't seem to ever make it home without a pocket full of rocks because I have this rock problem. I'm a rock hoarder. And if I don't bring a rock home from every outing that we do, I feel like I didn't bring anything home. So what would you like to know about hunting? I can talk a lot, or Kayleen can talk a lot about hunting.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about it. So I started out as a rifle hunter. The main differences between bow hunting and rifle hunting is you're getting a lot closer to the animals. So it actually makes you have to be able to improve your hunting skills to be able to get that close. Because when you're hunting with a rifle, you can shoot 300 yards away and the animal may not necessarily know that you're there the way it is when you're bow hunting. And for us women, we don't have the high poundage that the men can, that they can actually shoot those farther distances. So we're actually even getting closer. My deer that I harvested with my bow last, it was at 40 yards is when I harvested. It was a heart shot and it was at 40 yards. So that's pretty close. You practice the different yardages based off of that as well. But bow hunting, you definitely get a lot closer to the animals than you do for rifle hunting.
And on the technical side of it, you have to tune your broadheads also to hunt, you know, so you have to get different arrows and kind of make sure you have broadheads that are going to be specific. Because again, we don't pull that much weight, our draw lengths are a lot shorter. So we have to make sure that we get broadheads that are going to be feasible for out in the field as well. So, you know, you got to make sure you tune them. Your rest has to be aligned. And I'm one that I need to know everything about my bow. So I tinker with my bow, I mess with my bow. And if I mess it up, I take it to the shop, you know? So I know everything about my bow, no matter if it's the target bow or it's a hunting bow or a recurve. I need to know how my bow operates, how my arrows shoot. I even build my own arrows sometimes just because I know I need to have mine a specific weight, a specific everything when I'm shooting competition, but for hunting as well. I need to make sure that my broadheads are tuned, everything is tuned for hunting. So that's another thing to keep in mind.
And that's a big thing is the tuning of the broadheads. Mark just gets so upset with people. And we always talk about a broadhead tuning class because everybody seems to think just because they shoot 100 grain point on their practice points, their field points, that they could buy a broadhead and just put it on and go be good to go. Well, that's not even close to the truth. You need to shoot your broadheads. You need to shoot every arrow with a broadhead on it and make sure it flies straight and you get good arrow flight and put them in your quiver and mark your arrows. You know, mark them with your best arrow, that's shooting the best, that's grouping the best, that's hitting the target, and get a quiver full of arrows that are good straight arrows that are flying straight. So that's a big thing is broadhead tuning. And
the broadhead is a fix. It's like a blade. There's like 4 blades or 3 blades around like the field point that's at the end of your arrow. So that's what a broadhead is, and that's what penetrates the animal. And it, you know, it kind of shatters the bone or the heart or wherever, you know, you don't want to hit the bone, but you want to make sure you get in the vitals. But the broadhead has like some blades around it. So that's what a broadhead is.
And so I just shared the poll for the types of species that folks might be interested in, and a lot of elk and deer hunters. One of the things, if you are brand spanking new to bow hunting and you're a little intimidated about even bow hunting at all, I highly recommend going for javelina. They are a blast to hunt with a bow. You can hunt them all day. They have horrible eyesight. And so if you just think you're not going to be very confident in even harvesting anything with a bow, try javelina. You can definitely get close to them. The only big thing, it's kind of like deer, is you need to stay upwind or downwind from them, or how I'm getting myself confused, but make sure they can't smell you, because that's their key line of defense is to smell you. But they can't really see you very well. They're super easy to sneak up on. And so it definitely provides you a lot of opportunities. And they're just fun. They're just fun little critters. And I think I agree with all of these ladies who have bow hunted. It's made me a better rifle hunter as well, because when you have to get so incredibly close to an animal when you're bow hunting, you start thinking about other tips and tactics on your stalks for your rifle hunting or your muzzleloader hunts as well. And so you start getting in that mindset of how, and of course, even for me, for a rifle hunt, I want to try to get as close as I can to that animal anyway. And so if I can close that distance, even better, because I want to be able to see that animal really well to get an ethical shot. And so a lot of things I've learned from being a bow hunter has helped me immensely, moving myself back for a rifle hunt as well. So it all just really goes hand in hand with that. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing this.
The other thing you need to do is, if you decide you want to get into bow hunting, of course, like Kayleen said, practice, practice, practice. That the main thing is know your distance. Know where you're consistent and accurate, what distance you're comfortable with. I personally, I love 40 and under, but I could shoot 60. That's my max distance. You hear all these guys shooting 80, 90, 100 yards on an antelope. I won't even attempt that. I'm comfortable at 60 and under, but if I can get 40 or under, that makes me happy. And usually you can get a lot closer. I'm fortunate, I'm lucky I have a husband that has, we hunt together. Every hunt we do, we hunt together, and he calls in for me. He calls in elk for me. I call an elk for him. He calls in turkey for me. I call in turkey for him. So we work together as a team. It's nice to have a hunting partner or a partner to do all this stuff. And it's a lot of fun. Get out there and do it, ladies. It's a lot of fun. And like Jennifer said, if you want to start bow hunting, javelina is by far your best bet. And then once you get comfortable and accurate, the Sandia Mountains is the best kept secret. Let me tell you, that mountain is, everybody wants to draw the Sandia Mountains. That is so fun. You're pretty much guaranteed a shot, or if you draw, you call me. We're going with you. My husband and I go. We have a team of about 5 people that just so passionate about the Sandia Mountains and deer hunting that will definitely get you a shot. It may not be the biggest one, but you'll get a shot. It's up to you to put that shot together. If you want to go after a trophy, well, then you're going to have to work. You're going to better be in shape, and you're going to have to work for that one.
Glad I haven't put in my draws yet. Now I'm just gonna put, for the Sandia. I tell you what, I have to get me a grouse with a bow. That's what I'm talking about. I want to get me a grouse with a bow, and I want to see it fall from the tree. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I've been trying, Stephanie. It's so hard.
No, I tried one time and it went
hard.
That was like
I
20
lost
bucks.
a couple arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome. One of the other things too, just to build on a previous social hour that we had when we had Johnny, she's a big bow hunter from, she's currently now in Arizona. She's in New Zealand right now trying to harvest a red stag with her bow, which is super cool. But to build upon the broadheads and some of your draw weight and stuff for some of our more advanced ladies that are on the call, is talk about that kinetic energy. Johnny touched a little bit on that, just to make sure that you have the right draw weight for the equipment that you have, so you have that kinetic energy. A lot of folks who are out there thinking that they can harvest an animal at 100 yards or 80 yards, well, you might not be able to have that penetration, no matter if you have awesome equipment and the right broadheads. If you can't get that down there and for a good penetration, then you're looking for an unethical situation on an animal. So always shoot within your maximum effective range. I'm like Gina too, is I might be able to shoot practice at 60 yards, but I'm probably not going to take anything over 50. And just because I know the poundage, especially right now, I would not be able to pull the right kinetic energy back to harvest an animal ethically at 60 yards. But it sure helps me with my confidence when I try to shoot at 40. So for some reason I get that panic attack on paper, just like you, Gina, when we were talking about that. I am terrible at paper, Karen, and maybe I need you to help me out with this, but I'm horrible at paper, but I can shoot a 3D target and I don't get panic attack.
Panic attack.
I tell Karen, you can't eat paper, Karen.
I can eat paper. I can eat it all day long. Well, I do go hunting every once in a while. I just haven't gone drawing in a long time. So I stick to my paper because I know if I end up having to go hunting, I could kill an animal if I got close enough.
Mhm.
This just encourages everyone to come on, Friday or Saturday, because Jennifer's already making excuses on why she can't be terrible on the range. So if you're terrible, don't feel bad about it, because Jennifer's gonna be terrible too, and she's, has experience.
Just have fun. We just all about having fun.
It is. It's a blast. It's a blast. And like Kayleen and Gina and Karen all said, it is a mental game, and I get in my own head and I mess up myself. And it's just like, just go and enjoy and don't get in your own head.
Yeah, just leave that behind. Just leave it. Leave it.
100%.
It does happen to everybody though. Even with the paper, I have a hard time. I wear glasses, and sometimes with my eyesight, it's hard with the paper, but then when I'm shooting 3D, it's better. So it's nice to be able to shoot the different styles for
Yes.
that for practice and for your skills.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Anything else in the chat that we have missed or overlooked? Anybody got questions?
Yeah, I had a question. Like, I always look on New Mexico Game and Fish, and it's never offered the shooting bow hunting class. Do you know anything about that?
So we don't offer a lot of bow hunter education courses, but I have talked to some of our instructors who are looking at scheduling some classes this spring, summer. And then we also are offering through the department our bow hunter skills camps. We have one at Manzano Mountain State Park that's going to be in May. Registration will be posted up fairly soon for registration to open in April. So be on the lookout for that. And we're trying to work with other areas in the state to offer bow hunter skills camps in other areas of the state. And it's very minimal time. It's 9 to 3. If you want to camp overnight at one of our locations, you're welcome to do that. Like at Manzano Mountain State Park, you can pitch your tent or bring an RV or whatever you'd like to do, or just show up for the day. They're free. You don't have to have equipment. If you do have your equipment, you can bring it. And we typically at our bow hunter skills camps, we focus strictly on 3D targets, but we will have a round like a NASP. If you don't know what NASP is, it's just a round typical target butt that you can shoot just to get your confidence built up. And we talk about some survival skills. We will definitely talk about basics with equipment, how to get set up, proper fit, proper bow selection, equipment safety. We talk about tree stand safety. Now I know that's not real big here in New Mexico, but if you do go other places, we talk about that and how to hunt from a blind. So there's lots of different aspects that we cover in our bow hunter skills camps. So if that's something you're interested in,
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to be on that list.
Yeah, we will be sending out some notices once we get all of the kind of finite details for that May camp. And so, yeah, be on the lookout if you're on the Game and Fish email list for that, so you can be notified and get registered.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for jogging my memory to talk about that. It's on my queue and I missed it.
Yeah, and Helen pointed out in the chat to the WIDO event, and at the end of March, beginning of April, that weekend, we'll also cover archery basics, and that's down near Cloudcroft. So she covers that as well, and so there's a few opportunities. There's not many, but there's a few.
I haven't seen Cloudcroft. I would really be interested in that as well. Can I just like throw my email out here just in case I'm not on that mailing list? I mean, I got this email, so maybe I am.
Helen, do you want to talk about WIDO real quick, and then Jennifer, maybe you can in the chat get your email address to her so you can be on her mailing list.
Yeah, I can definitely. I'll do a quick rundown. Like it's. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Like she said, we offer, there's going to be a slew of classes. Archery basics is one of them. Like I said, I'm a NASP instructor, so I kind of go from the basics and beginning as if you've never even seen a bow before on the way up to advanced. We do kind of bow hunter safety. We'll touch a little bit on bow hunting, and then we actually have a 15 target 3D archery course to teach from beginners to advanced. We'll have prizes and awards. We're actually this year doing a buckle shoot for beginners and advanced. It's a long distance shoot. They had a lot of fun last year. So, and that's the archery portion of it, but we also offer like elk hunting, elk calling, turkey hunting. The Game and Fish ladies are going to be there to do like upland bird hunting. And all these are all introductory classes. Some of you who are the experienced can pick up experience, like maybe you figure something you didn't know before, you'll learn something new, but it's all at beginner level. Dutch oven cooking, we've got leather, we'll be breasting out a turkey, there's deboning in the field. We had a field dressing class last year. So we have quite a few classes, and it is in the Cloudcroft area at Camp of the Tall Pines, and it'll be March the 31st, April 1st, and April 2nd. And there's also a Storm from the Game and Fish is going to be doing our fishing class on Friday, and then he'll be teaching turkey on Saturday. And then I'm going to assist him shortly after that. We'll breast out a bird and show you guys how to do a fan mount. Just a great fun weekend with ladies who want to experience kind of the same thing everybody else wants to, with, you know, beginner dabbling into hunting and meeting other women that share that same passion. So it's a great weekend.
Is there still spots available, Helen, for ladies to register?
Yes, there is. And you can find the registration on nwtf.org, and then just type in this. You can either search by state or women in the outdoors, and it should come up. So we're sitting at about probably 40 ladies right now. We used to host this in the summertime, but we moved it to March just to kind of see if the difference between really the weather and the location. So we always get rained out in the monsoons in July. So we just wanted to kind of see, we're going to do something also this summer, but we wanted to just kind of see how this would take off, moving the date to March. And so far so good. So it's going to be a fun weekend.
Actually, that's where I shot my first bow, was at a Lido weekend. And then I went to archery shop.
Not far from where you got your turkey.
Yeah.
Good.
There's all kinds of stuff there.
So it's a great weekend. You guys can message me, call me. I'm on Facebook, the events on Facebook, the groups on Facebook. It's pretty easy to find. I know somebody put a link out there a while ago, but I can also add my phone number if you'd like me to.
It's a lot of fun, and you'll leave with lifelong friends. I have friends that I met at Wido that I still talk to all the time. It's a lot of fun.
And you guys went and did a turkey calling contest, huh?
Yeah, there was 4 of us that went. It was a lot of fun, and we were all Wido. It was a lot of fun, and we got rained out. We poured our whole time there. I shot my bow in the rain for the first time, and I shot for hours. We were out there in the rain. Definitely learned a lot.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies. Well, great. I think we've covered everything in the chat, and I can't encourage everybody enough to come in and talk to people at your local archery shop. So for those of you who might not be in Albuquerque or Las Cruces, I know that there's archery shops scattered all over New Mexico. So look at that, go in, talk to people, start that conversation. I know that's sometimes the most intimidating thing, is just starting that conversation. But once you do that, it's well worth it. And so we really look forward to seeing you all at one of our next events. I'm going to put a plug for some stuff we have on the horizon since I've got everybody here. Helen just put her contact information in the chat. So for those of you who want to converse with her more about Wido and register for the upcoming event here in a couple weeks, get in touch with her. Our April Ladies Social Hour is going to be talking turkey. We have wrangled up Storm Ussery, who he was turkey biologist for the Game and Fish for a little while, but he's our conservation education program coordinator, and he is a turkey fanatic. I think, Helen, he beats you when it comes to turkeys. So he is an amazing person to talk about turkey hunting, as a wealth of knowledge and resources, and is a wonderful presenter. You don't want to miss our conversation with him in April. So be on the lookout for that. It's April 11th. And we will have our recordings posted after I can figure out how to get it out of the Zoom cloud. So Tristan can post this for later viewing if you want to go back and listen to it, and all of our previous sessions as well are on the department YouTube page under playlists. Just look for Ladies Social Hour. We've got stuff on there. Even you can go back a couple and look at Johnny's session when we talked to her. It was about inspiration, but she has a lot of great bow hunting tips in there, especially for more advanced folks or intermediate folks. So April, we've got Talking Turkey, and then May, we're going to do a gear swap that Stephanie is putting together in Albuquerque. And we have it going on at a local establishment here in Albuquerque, and hopefully maybe if Colleen's available as well, we can get one down south, but if not, we definitely will have one in Albuquerque. So hopefully by then we'll know if we're successful in the draw. Like I said, we're all successful, hopefully, in some capacity for the draw this year. And so if you don't have equipment, or maybe you've got equipment that you haven't used in years and you don't want it anymore, just bring your stuff. Or if you're looking for stuff, hopefully there's something there that you can pick up for a good deal, or you can swap it or trade it or whatever. So Stephanie, go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm taking your thunder. Tell us what you got lined up.
Not at all. So I just sent the email out today to local conservation groups to join us, and some local shops as well to join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think I'm ready to be out on patios at this point and enjoy the sunshine. So it's going to be an outdoor event. I hope that folks can attend, and even if you don't have anything, just come hang out.
Yeah. Come converse, be social, talk with people who enjoy being in the outdoors like you. It's not just about hunting that we're going to have. We're going to have angling people there. I think we're extending an invitation to some angling folks to get you hooked up for the summer. And so again, just go through your outdoor gear. If there's stuff that you don't want anymore and you want to bring it, awesome. If you're looking for something, then maybe somebody will have it. So old camo that you're not using anymore. I mean, the sky's the limit on the outdoor gear that you could bring, or maybe that you might be looking for that somebody else might have. So we hope to see everybody in May. What is the date on that one, Stephanie?
Oh, sorry, that's some important information. It's going to be May 9th, Tuesday, 6 to 9.
Awesome. And
Where
can I spill the location?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, because I booked it already. So I guess I should be able to. I don't know, but it's at Rio Bravo Brewing on Second Street.
They have an amazing outdoor space, so we won't run out of space. So if, let's say you've got a ton of gear that you're trying to trade out or swap or whatever, or sell, there's tables, and you can put all your loot on a table, and then hopefully some of the conservation groups that are there can also get you guys pointed in the right direction on how to get involved. And so we're working on it, getting those invites out to folks for that. And so yeah, we hope to see everybody there.
There's a stage too, so if you're lucky, I may do a little number for you. I don't know. Let's just see how the night.
We're gonna hold you to it.
Good. Hokey pokey.
We got about 30 witnesses that are going to hold you to it.
Just to let you know, I also have a swap meet scheduled for April 1st at the archery shop.
Awesome.
Same thing, pretty much. It's buy, sell, trade, swap meet, everything except for guns. So we've been advertising that for about 5 months now. So I'm thinking we're going to have a pretty good turnout. I know myself, I have a couple of ladies' boots that are really nice ladies' boots that are too small for me. That I'm taking. So there's this would be some good stuff out there.
Awesome. Very cool. Lots of opportunities for people to get out there.
Yeah.
Well, great. I saw a few things come up in the chat. Just want to make sure we have everything covered before I kick everybody loose so you can go eat or enjoy your families and everything. So thank you all so very much. We appreciate the time to take out of your day to join us. Thank you, Gina and Kayleen and Karen, so very much for being here and sharing your knowledge with everything, with everybody here. So great. Well, thank you guys so much. We look forward to seeing you for future sessions. And then again, this weekend, we hope to see you archery shop either on May 17th, May 31st, or April 21st. So
Cool. Mhm.
great.
Yep.
Everybody have a good night. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
All right,
Bye.
bye.